another 50 years and make up for the 50 they lost in prison. This is sad. It's sad that we as a collective don't realize what's being done to us with these stage show events, energy harvesting blood rituals. That's all they is. They harvesting your energy in the blood ritual. And then you got people coming out. Look, I couldn't give two less than a drop of piss in the bucket what my neighbor doing, and they live right there. Why would I care what somebody on the other side of the country doing? I don't care. They overvalue my caring of somebody that I never seen before in order to attack me. Yeah, that's the chamber. There used to be a sarcophagus, but it comes from Atlantean. That's why we don't have a lot of ancient skeletons, because we didn't die. We just go in and regenerate the avatar, reset it to optimum performance, and come out like we was when we was at our mental peak, our emotional peak, our spiritual peak, and our physical peak. And we come out of this healing chamber that looked like we had just drunk from the fountain of youth, because that's the origin of the fountain of youth story. The elders just told the imposters it was the water. But water is the symbol for the spirit. And if you don't know that, that's how they tricked them. That's how they kept them looking for a river all this time, never knowing that the real fountain of youth is to harness your spiritual energy. And you're going to override all of these physical attributes, because the spirit is stronger than anything in the physical, and we fighting the spiritual war, and it's being drug out in the physical realm so hard. It's being drug out in the physical realm so hard because it was a hard spiritual war first. We already won the spiritual war. It's just a matter of getting y'all in alignment to your higher conscious self, so that your personal tutor will step forth and show you all this stuff that I'm telling you, where to find it and how to get to it. Ain't none of this stuff a secret. But it's secret from the ones who don't do any of their independent research. It's even secret from the ones that got PhDs through academia, because they only got a PhD in one piece of information that their enemy gave them to master so that they can work for them. We already won. Give my sisters back their stuff so I can go on about my business. I don't need mine until after my sisters get theirs, because in the meantime, I'm not worried about being taken care of, because my sisters always look out. So give them back what's theirs by the blood and the right, by birthright, by blood right. Give it to them. Your blood magic ain't working no more. Your casting your blood on the altar of the sacrifice is no longer working. It's incompetent. It's impotent now. It's probably, it's castrated. It don't work no more. And the people are still caught up in that trap. So I tried to do this on Instagram, because I can get the message to more people faster on Instagram. And I'm thinking about opening my TikTok up for lives next. But I'd be really glad when I don't have to do social media no more. Y'all don't know how bad I hate social media. Y'all don't know how difficult it is for me to keep coming on social media, dropping all this information when I hate it so bad. I want to go and dig in the dirt with my babies and get our fingernails dirty, where I got to teach them how to get the brush to brush under the fingernail. I don't want to do this social media BS. I don't like social media. It's just a means to an end. And it's a path of least resistance to get the message to the most people in the most diverse places around the planet without me having to go physically from place to place. I hate this shit. And my hate is in proper context, because they use social media to ensnare us, got us walking around with these computers in our face all day. I can't stand checking messages, but I gotta do it. But when I get home, I'll let one of my daughters be my message checker. Check the message. If it sounds like it's some difficult, hard stuff, I answer it. If it don't, you can answer it. I don't even want to answer the telephone. I hate the telephone. Right? So I be trying to be nice on the telephone. Well, not nice. I be trying to be cordial on the telephone. I can't stand the telephone. I'd rather see you in your face, look you in your eye, give you a hug, than talk to you on the telephone. I'd rather travel by foot from here to Antarctica to come see you, no matter how long it takes, than take a 2-minute phone call. I hate the telephone. I hate social media, but I got to participate and use this because this is the new ways of the new world. I don't got to like it. I got to do my job, though. I got to tell y'all about these frauds and these fraudsters masquerading as the people of the land, trying to trick y'all into entering into contracts. Stop the contracting. Don't if you need your signature on it, it's a contract. That's signing your name in blood, whether it's red ink or not. Because you trapped into whatever the parameters of the contract, and 9.9 out of 10, there's some stuff in the contract that you don't even know what it means. So you didn't agree to something that you don't even know what you agreed to. This is what it boiled down to. That they call making deals with the devil. The devil wants you to sign a contract, right? Well, who the hell you think got you signing all these? The contract for a driver's license, the contract for a fishing license, the contract for a gun permit, the contract to go into the military, a contract to get out the military, a contract to vote, a contract, even though your vote don't count for nobody but your local government. If in LA, Chicago, New York, Houston, Dallas, Miami, Atlanta, they don't use your popular vote to elect the mayor no more. It's just the little towns that's still doing it. Them big cities they know who they gonna put in office. They know who they gonna put in office. They was recruiting Mayor Daley when Harold Washington was still alive, but they couldn't get him in there because we loved Harold Washington because he was doing what he said he was gonna do, which is a death sentence for any politician. Any politician that do what he tell you he gonna do, they gonna try to kill him if they don't kill him. If you don't believe me, ask John F. Ask Bobby. Ask Ronnie. Every politician that try to be a man of their word, they either murder him or maim him. You can't be a man of your word and hold no political office. I don't even want to talk about Marion Barry. I don't even want to talk about that. Like, he was smoking. He got caught smoking crack. It's on video. But the question is, he in a hotel room. Who put the video there? Who put the recorder there to catch him? While they was sitting there smoking crack, laughing at him, smoking crack with a hooker. We don't even question them people. The ones who put the video tapes in there, the video cameras, was smoking crack, laughing at him with his hooker, while they smoking crack, getting some head, watching him smoking crack with a hooker. And then they gonna release it to the public like he the only one in D.C. doing it, and they was all doing it. How you think he got turned out? He wasn't just roaming the streets and just bumped into some hooker one day that had a rock and told him to hit it. He was at a D.C. party. He started off ooting. Next thing you know, he's smoking. But because he was the mayor of D.C., which is actually Rome, most of us don't know that, Rome, it was named after Rome. Go look at my Instagram post. You see what I'm talking about. Rome, America was Rome, D.C., the 3 city states. This is just a military branch. They got us in our ignorance signing up for their military, and we don't know until it's too late that they the imposters and the invaders on the land, and we the ones that's filling their military up with the people to enforce a fraudulent jurisdiction over the de jure rightful heirs. We don't know. We believe in what they telling us in these history books until we find out on our own that that's some BS. Lies my teacher told me. Go get the book. Lies my teacher told me. That's just a starter kit, right? Go look up Charlotte Issertby on YouTube where she can tell you about their educational system from the inside because she was the director And she telling you how all of the fraud in the educational system work, right? Go listen to Amos Wilson, The Psychological Development of the Black Child. He'll tell you what they doing on purpose to disable us mentally and emotionally and to overcome us because they don't want us to get physical. They're always worried about us getting angry and killing somebody, and they doing all of the killing in rage. They doing all of the homicides, the 187s. They is. And then they telling us that we so dangerous, especially when you start being an angry black man. He was a big angry black man. That's why they whooped Rodney King. They said he was a big angry black man and they were scared, so they whooped him. And if it wasn't on videotape, they'd all walked. But somebody across the street just decided to record this police traffic stop and caught the whole thing on camera and didn't know what they was getting themselves into. I hope that they copyrighted the tape before they released it so they could have got paid off his misery. Look, Rodney King got drowned in the swimming pool. He got drowned in the swimming pool because he took the enemy's side. The same people that was whooping him, he started standing up for the enemy that was whooping him. So he get drowned in this swimming pool. I don't know who did it. I don't even care. Right? I'm from the FTP school of thought. I can give y'all some insight into how I feel about the police. But we need to control our own communities with the elders and the men in the community. And we supposed to, look, children walking to school alone, it's supposed to be a father on every corner on the way to school. Everywhere that the children walk, it's supposed to be a father on every corner. Because you're not finna mess with our babies. That's how we roll. Them other people, they'll sell you their baby the same way they'll sell you their mama. That's how you know they ain't us. And then they stay in our ear telling us how to kill that. I wouldn't take that from him if I was you. He the problem. All you had to do is drop this information that you learning, and you will be able to reach more people than you can by hitting people upside their head. Some of these people need to be hit upside the head still. I don't care how much you tell them, they can't hear. They need lumps. They need understanding marks. They need GD shades. They need their snot box pushed back. They need their back dirty. They need their lips fat. They need to be spitting out blood. They disrespectful. They ignorant and entitled. That's a horrible combination for a human soul to be. Disrespectful, entitled, and incompetent. All in one individual. That's not three people, that's one. With the three worst traits that you could possibly have in order to call yourself spiritually awakened. Don't let me get started on these diet-ass woke conscious Negroes. Dude, them suckers, there, that diet woke shit. Let me go get some references from the enemy to prove my point. I don't need no reference. I'll tell you what it say. I'm telling you what they codes say, what they saying in your face behind your back. I don't care what they documents say. I'm talking, I want to know what they codes say. Okay, when they come with that document, what's the code in the document? What is the secret society message that's between the lines that you can't read? So while they beating around the bush, I'm reading between the lines. You put it together. Tell me what it is. Since I don't know what I'm talking about, then tell me what you see. Because you might see something I don't see. You know. So shout outs to Miss Dean over at Walk with the Ancestors. Shout out to BDL. Shout out to all the other ones, light workers out here swinging their sabers, they light swords of truth to bring this enemy to his knees once and for all. And I'm ready for heaven on earth. I don't know about y'all. I'm ready to everywhere I go. It's a celebration for no reason. It's just celebrating. We don't need a reason to celebrate. We ain't never needed a reason to celebrate. Now we can only celebrate on the holiday. Who told us that? Where we learn that from? That sounds like some economic entrapment type stuff. We can only only have celebrations during the holiday. Man, we used to have parties all the time. Where you think clubs came from? They know what your natural behavior is, and they know how to exploit it to monetize it. The clubs came from our family functions and our family get-togethers that we had on a weekly basis, and at the least a monthly basis. We didn't be estranged from our family for 10, 15 years before we see each other again. That's insane. Now you got kids don't even know they related. They married with kids now. You ain't never knew they was related. Some of them grew old together, never knowing they related, never knowing they family. Right? But they kidnapping babies at the hospital, switching them at the hospital just to see what'll happen. Right? Put this high yellow baby with this Caucasian family and put this Caucasian baby in that and see how they grow up. So now you got two people wondering, why my baby don't look like nobody in the family? They switched your baby in the hospital. That's why. Experiment, social experiment, nurture versus nature. That's one of the biggest experiments they ran on us. That's where your whole doctrine of slavery come from. Nature or nurture. Will the nature of the child surpass the nurture of the child? In other words, is what's in them going to override what you teach them? Nature versus nurture. That's an old experiment. They've been doing that experiment at least 350 years over here. Right? That ain't even got nothing to do with how long they was doing it in Europe, Africa, Asia. But it's the same experiment. All the experiments, they running these experiments because they need to know how you function in order to keep you oppressed. Oh yeah, hey look, if we ever make a time machine, I'm going back in time with an AK-47, and I'm going to put so many holes in tip of tip that you'll be able to see the sun shining through him like he wasn't even there. They better not make no time machine. I'm just going back just to put him in him. He one of the main ones that I want to put some holes in the history books. Because some of the people in the history books that they told you, them ain't even the real people. They done made some characters up and wrote them into a story and told you it was history. Then they turned around and told us the history is written by the victors. Then they turn around, Winston Churchill say, the truth is so valuable that it must be carefully guarded by a ring of lies. Where these people come from? Where they come from? With their well-dressed lies, wearing truth clothes. So all of these psyops, they got more Manchurian candidates and they got more of this shenanigans coming. It is not working though. So now they just being bloodthirsty killers. They not being priests of the sacrifice. They just killing for nothing. It'll catch up with them. It'll catch up with them. It's hard to understand what I'm about to say, but it's the realest stuff my mama ever told me. Ain't nobody getting off this planet without paying for their dirt. If they don't pay for it while they living, they gonna come back and pay for it later. But most of them gonna leave out miserable, beat down, and half of them gonna probably be in hospice for 2 years, suffering for the dirt they did. Yep. Karma was the judge of the priesthood of the civil priestesses that they took the sacerdotal seat from. But notice the Pope sit under the sacerdotal seat. He don't sit on it. And then they told us that the underminer, the one who goes under a thing to overthrow a thing, is the enemy, and we ain't even realized that the Pope was sitting on the St. Peter's seat. Peter means is pater. Pater is father in Greek. So he's sitting on the father's seat under the mother's seat. That means no matter what he do, at any given time when the rightful heir come, he can't take her seat from her. And I'm gonna make sure she sit there. Look, I'm wired a funny kind of way. I never seen nobody wired like me. Cause if it ain't mine, I don't want it. I don't want somebody else's stuff. I only want what's mine. That go for my dog, that go for my bike, that go for my car, that go for my house, that go for my woman, that go for my anything. I don't want what ain't mine. So I'm not gonna never fight for somebody else's stuff to become mine. I'm gonna always fight for me to get what's mine, but in order for me to get what's mine, I gotta make sure my sisters get their stuff first. Because that's what my mama told me. Don't never let nobody take nothing from your brothers and your sisters. Thank you, Latanya Powell, for giving them the rest of the statement. Ain't nobody getting out of here without paying for their dirt. They're not escaping. Ain't none of them gonna escape. They gon'